Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, remember when tech promised to make everybody more productive? And to be honest, for the most part, it does. But we've also unwittingly caused a lot of information silos. Because any company anywhere in the world will have a finance team, a legal team, a digital team, etc. But each of those individual departments will all have their own favourite tool that they picked up online without even letting IT know. So the average workplace now has departments working in silos on different platforms such as Slack, Asana, Trello, Google Docs, Evernote, and the list goes on and on. But none of these departments, or indeed apps, are actually talking to each other. Now tonight's guest is going to tell us how we can change all that. But I don't want to spoil too much early on in the episode, so buckle up and hold on tight so I can invite you to let me beam your ears all the way to New York so we can speak with Emily Duncan, who's going to tell us all about Zillable's new awesome collaboration platform for big teams and small. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Emily. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Emily. I work for a startup called Zillable based here in the States. Zillable is an enterprise collaboration platform, and what I do here is marketing, copywriting, editing. I do a lot of the messaging for Zillable, basically, and obviously I speak on podcasts sometimes, like this one right now.
What a cool name as well, Zillable. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so it actually, Zillable started as a weekend warrior project for our founder and CEO, who's named Andy Pham. He's by trade patent lawyer, and he started making this thing wanting to help speed up and streamline the patent process. So it was originally called Patentzilla. If you ever see, we have a little sort of dinosaur mascot named Pat, and he was originally Pat the Patentzilla. But what happened was once they built this tool, they looked at it and went, wow, the content doesn't actually have to be patent related. You could use this for all different sorts of work processes, and people would probably really like that. It's very, this is actually a handy thing. It's got all these different features that they needed to do this one process. But in the end, they sort of went, oh, well, this is handy for a bunch of different things. Because it's got chat, it's got, like instant messaging kind of thing. It's got project management boards. It's got online document collaboration, sort of like a Google Docs kind of thing. And all these different things that it's like, wow, all these tools are very useful for a wide variety of things. And so anyway, so Patentzilla became Zillable, and we took the patent out of the name and out of some of the content. But, if you look closely, there's still a lot of sort of innovation and patent related things, little features here and there on the platform where you can publish an idea and all that.
Oh, that's incredibly cool. Now, like you said, Zillable is a new collaboration platform for teams big and small, and also combines all the big productivity tools. But for anyone listening that's just hearing about this for the very first time now on today's show, can you just tell me a little bit more about exactly what it is and also what makes it stand out in that crowded market of collaboration tools?
Absolutely. So first off, what is it? Zillable is, as you said, an awesome new collaboration platform, and it basically combines the tools that everybody's using. So chat or instant messaging, Kanban style project management boards, online document collaboration, cloud storage, note-taking, creating tasks and to-do lists. And it puts all of these things in one place, and they're features that are built together instead of separately. So they all work together. They're all on one platform, and they're all cross-searchable, basically. They all work together. They're interconnected. And it's built on a social framework, so it's easy to use. And what's special about all that is that instead of trying to integrate a bunch of different tools that don't know how to talk to each other, we've made them native features on one platform and in one app. So basically, we're trying to eliminate information silos that are created by having, an app for this, an app for that, an app for every little thing, instead of one app for, say, everything. So basically, the idea is that you could forget Slack, forget Asana, forget Trello, forget Google Docs, Evernote, all these things, and instead just use this one app, one platform, and really sort of eliminate all of that. Where did I put that thing? Where is, did they text that to me? Where did I put that? And instead just have it all at your fingertips all the time. And so to me, the real, why should you use it is for individuals. Yeah, it's that thing of closing your tabs, getting rid of this disparate set of information where you're going, I just don't know where things are, but also for big business, it's even better. And we piloted with a Fortune 500 company, so it's really designed for big enterprises where it's, because everything's all in one place, it's more secure, and we've really built it to be a secure platform. So it's, there's less sending between all these different apps that could get, any one thing could get hacked, and like IT doesn't know who even has what apps. There's hundreds of them across the company, but instead it's just, we have this one app, we have this one platform, and we can monitor it. And we can also use that information to get big data and to really get a sense of the big picture of the company and how things are running and how people are working and how they're working together. And that, I think that's sort of what's special too, is we have all these features to help you really see a bird's eye view of how your company runs or how your team is working or how things are fit together,
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned IT there, because I'm kind of still got that IT blood in my veins, that mean IT guy that wants to control and lock everything down. But the reason it is because I think one of the things that I've noticed over the years is different departments within a business will all have their own preferred tool and create those information silos that you talked about there. And the rise of shadow IT means that your IT department now can no longer control or decide what apps a business will use anymore. And as a result, we end up with information silos across Slack, Asana, Trello, Google Docs, Evernote. And like you said, that list goes on and on. But how does Zillable tackle that problem? And also, have you had any issues trying to wrestle those apps from departments that have said, well, we always do it this way and we always use that app? Have you had any resistance?
So in terms of how we tackle the problem, I'll answer that in two parts.
Sorry.
Definitely, I would say that there are people that kind of go, well, we like this thing. But on the one hand, it's much better for the company overall if everyone can work together, if everyone is using these tools that can talk to each other, if everyone can share information, and it's better for IT and it's better for like HR and admin and all that, where they can go, okay, everything's contained here and there's not going to be something in someone's text that we need later or that we'll never be able to get. Yeah, I mean, of course there's some resistance, but none of these tools are that old either. No one's been using Asana for 10 years or 20 years, It's it's everything's kind of constantly moving, I feel like. That's the good and bad thing about this world and this market, where it's just like there's so many apps coming at you all the time and everyone's going, oh, you use that, I use this, it's so much better because of this. And it's no more of that. We're done. Let's just have it in one place so that everyone can find things, so that you can find things. So I guess, in terms of the information silos, if you're working on Zillable, there is none. Part of the sort of grand ethos of Zillable is the idea that anyone can have a good idea about anything, really, or you never know where the next big innovation is going to come from. And so it's good for everyone to have access to the things that they should have access to. I mean, obviously, you still want things to be private that need to be private, but to be able to see how the network works together and know that there's someone in another department that has some similar skills to you. So if you're working on a video and they're separately working on a video, you can see that and talk to each other. I think that's so important. And so Zillable doesn't have this sort of like, which one did I put it in? You just press Control K and you can search everything that you have access to in your network for keywords, and then you can filter by how recent it is, or by title, or by, most relevant to your search. And you can, all these different things to make it very easy to find what you need. The short answer is basically just what I was saying before, which is that there are all these different tools that people are using, but instead of 80 different apps for it, it's all together in one place and they can talk to each other and they're designed together and they're deployed together. Does that sort of answer the question?
No, absolutely. And I just think it's so important now to have that single version of the truth, because we have so many departments just going off doing their own thing and probably doing the same work twice, 3 times, or even 4 times over,
Yeah, it's definitely about eliminating duplicate work too, because if you don't know that someone else has already made a guideline for that and you're reinventing the wheel over and over, and it's I mean, how many times have you worked in an office where there was like an information hoarder, that has the information and just won't give it to you for some reason? And this makes that very hard to do.
And those information hoarders you mentioned there, very often they will have everything secured on their email subfolder somewhere. So I've got to ask, does it integrate with email too? And does it remove that first world problem of frantically searching through all your devices and threads for everything that you need?
Yeah. Yes and yes, I would say. Honestly, we talk about eliminating the work email altogether. So, while you're still stuck with it, though, what you can do is you can get a link, like an email, it's a bunch of numbers and letters and dashes, like @Zillable, and you can get a link to any space. So that's like your chat. It's where your your document storage is for any one team or project or however you want to organize your people. But so you can get this email link, and then you can CC it, and it automatically posts all the messages from that email thread onto your chat, or you can forward emails into it, so that if you're working with someone who's outside of Zillable, or if you still like having your email on the go, it also still goes into your Zillable network. So there's no sort of separate conversations, and there's no, oh no, that was an email. I'm so sorry. I have to go search through my email to find the information. It just goes into your Zillable. And then it's all on the network, and the information you need is there. I was saying you can just press Control K to search the whole network. So assuming that you do that, and that and mostly that your conversations for work start to become on Zillable, happen on Zillable instead of in your email. And you can set notifications too, so it goes to your email. Like if you still want to use your email, it's on the table, but we make it very, very much integrated with Zillable so that you're not losing anything by doing that. In terms of this frantically searching your devices and threads thing, it's just everything's searchable. Every single aspect of Zillable is searchable. We basically said, let's be the opposite of all of the different platforms and tools and apps where you go, where are my documents? And like, what order is this in? Like for me, I don't know about you, like I like Google Docs, but I can never find anything on it. It takes me, every time I open it up, I go, why is that there? Where is the one thing that I need? And what are these things that are, and it's the opposite of that. We're basically, your documents are, if it's a project, they're all, everything that you've sent someone within that chat space automatically gets put into the other half of it, which is called Explore, which kind of looks like a Pinterest board, but you can also do it as a list. But like, it's where everything you've ever sent lives. And then you can go by your personal stuff. So you can go by what the project is, what the team is. You can look through everything that you've ever touched, basically, is automatically recorded in your notebook, so that you can go back and say, I was on that one document 2 weeks ago, and I cannot tell you what it was about, but I know I had something important. And you can just go backwards through your history and see, oh, that's right. It was that article about turtles I wanted to come back to, or or whatever else. So it's basically just we've given it 8,000 different ways for you to find what you need. So whatever makes sense for you and your company and the way that things work for you and the way that your brain works, there's a way to search for that. So it's very, very searchable.
I'm just glad I'm not the only person that logs into Google Docs and think, what the hell's going on here? Where is this?
Exactly. I mean, Google's such a big company. Why isn't that organized better? Yeah, so we said, let's not do that anymore. Because we were using Google Docs before we finished the online document collaboration feature. And when we finally had it out of beta and really said, all right, this is working, we all kind of cheered, just like, it's over. It's finally over.
So if you do have any resistance, I would imagine that the kind of question that you're going to get is that it's incredibly easy to invite people over that are outside the company and collaborate on Slack or a Trello board. So I've got to ask again, I mean, is it easy to invite someone from another company to use Zillable that is not one of your customers? I mean, how easy is that process?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, Zillable, it works very similar to, say, Slack or something like that, where you would get an invite and then you can join that room. And I mean, you'd have to give your name and your email, but that's it, and then you're in there. If someone invites you to their network and you're going to be like part of the whole thing, if you're working with a new person and you're bringing them in, you invite them to your network and then they see, whatever is shared to them, which can be public stuff or things that you choose to share with them. But also if you have just one person that you're just bringing on for one thing, what you can do as a Zillable user is create like a guest or a restricted account where they only get access to whether it's one space or that board or X set of documents or anything like that. And, and similarly, like with Slack or with Trello, you'll still have to do the basics of getting in there, but it's certainly not difficult and there's no payment or anything like that. It's the basic level of Zillable is free, always for everybody. So you can just jump in and go. Also, one thing that I would say is we talked a little bit about email integrations, but going back to the people that might be resistant in terms of they're already on Slack, they're already on Asana. We are working on integrations with each of those tools so that you can easily migrate all of your stuff that's already there into your Zillable, and then it's done. And again, you can breathe and go, oh, okay, now they're in the same place. That's nice. And then start using the Zillable tools, obviously, we would say. But
Now, I've also got to ask, do you have any use cases from clients where you can offer that before and after picture of where you had the disorganised mess and how it's now made a big difference to productivity, all by putting everything into that one box called Zillable, of course?
Yeah, definitely. So the biggest one is this pilot project that we've been on with a bigger company for a few years now, where we've worked with them to really develop the product and how it works. But they moved from, and I got this number from Andy this morning, I wanted to double check, but it was, they moved from 20 patents a year to 1,000.
Wow.
Which is a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over a couple of years and working with this tool and developing this tool and how they work with this tool. But I mean, that's pretty huge.
There just seems to be a lot of app fatigue around there at the moment as well. So I'd imagine having one app that does everything is incredibly attractive to both businesses and users. Have you had that kind of feedback?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I show people how it works and talk to them about it, they just go, this is great. Because everyone's got that story, whether they worked at a school, whether they worked at a theater company or a big Fortune 500 company or a hedge fund or what. Everyone's had that thing where they're sitting there going, it is more work for me to get to start working or to find the things that I need or to, just figure out how all these different things work and fit together and keep a list of all of the different passwords and all the different sites and all the different things. It's harder to do that, and it takes up more time than my actual work. And once people get on, it's like, wow, so much of the busy work is gone. It's almost frustrating. You're so used to doing all this little futzing around when you get in the morning now that you're like, oh yeah, I guess I just have my job to do. But in a good way, because in the end it means, you can get home to your family or your dog or your quiet but enthusiastic houseplant and just sort of.
So is there anything else that you can share with us today about the plans for Zillable in 2018 or any big goals or milestones that you're chasing after?
Yeah, well, we've got a few big things going on, actually. One is that we have just put into beta video chat for the platform. So you'd be able to make calls within the platform and sort of like a Skype kind of function. So it would be one more thing that you wouldn't have to worry about out in the world, and lets you chat with your teammates while you're working on a document together or working on a project management thing where you can just click the call button and away you go. So that's pretty exciting. We're excited about that new feature. And then separately, we've just expanded a little to add more of a sales force, which is cool. We're trying to actually move from, really last year was, we sort of said, okay, we really have this platform working. We feel good about it. We want to start telling people about it. We want to start, moving it out into the world. And now we're taking that a little more seriously. So if anyone wants to buy it, we have a sales team. We have a VP of sales. We have a couple associates here in New York, which I'm very excited about. So we're really working on expanding and bringing in more people. And then third thing that's going on with us is we are going to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas in March. And I'm very excited about that too.
Fantastic. That's one of those events that's high on my bucket list, but I've not been able to get there yet.
Yeah, it'll be my first time going. It's a big festival. It's like, I think something like hundreds of thousands of people come in over the course of this festival because they do a film fest, a music fest, and then also these interactive and like tech trade shows and panels and all that kind of stuff. And so we're obviously going for we'll be in the Startup Hub, or Startup Village, I think it's called, with some other startups in tech. And and we'll just be demoing the product and meeting people and milling about, I guess. And trying to just show people what we do and also get to see what everybody else is up to, which is always super exciting to see what the next thing in tech is. Obviously we feel like we're the next thing in productivity, but there's a lot of other virtual reality and all that kind of stuff is happening. And so we'll get to poke around and see that too.
Oh, fantastic. Incredibly cool. But before I do let you run off though, can I just ask you that you advise the listeners how they can get up and running with Zillable, and equally where they can turn to for help or ask any questions should they run into any problems or just questions about our conversation today?
Yeah, absolutely. So they can get started on Zillable by just going to Zillable.com, which is spelled Zillable.com. And then it's very easy. You can just start a network. And like I said, the basic level is always free. We have paid levels that give you access for more people, more tools, that kind of thing. But if you want to just try it out, you don't have to pay a dime. You just sign up and away you go. And you can use all our different features. And in terms of where you can get help if you need support, you can email the people of Zillable who are support types. I think that the best one for them is hello@zillable.com. You can submit a question via our support center. You can email hello@zillable.com. You can also tweet us at Zillable, and we'll get back to you quick as bunnies. And there's lots of resources on our website too if you want to poke around. But I know it's always nice to be able to get a person. And actually, if you have any questions about our conversation, or you really can't find somebody, feel free to email me. I'm emily.duncan@zillable.com, and I'm always happy to talk to new users and people that need a little help, and I'm around.
Excellent. Well, I'll add those links to the show notes just so people can find Zillable online nice and easy. I think there's going to be a lot of people listening that arrive in the office in the morning, switch on a computer and have to wait for 5 minutes just for it to warm up and go make themselves a drink. And then they've got to start, 5, 6, 7 different apps and know all the username passwords. And we wonder why people have got app fatigue. So one app that does absolutely everything has got to be incredibly attractive to businesses. So I love what you're doing there. So more than anything, just a big thank you for coming on and sharing your story today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
I love how Zillable combines all the big productivity tools everybody's using, whether it be chat, Kanban boards, online document collaboration, cloud storage, note-taking, and so much more, all in one place. Now, I mentioned app fatigue for good reason earlier in the episode there, because I think we're all starting to tire of using 10 plus apps that all need to have their own logins, they all need their own passwords, and it's just more to load up when you switch on your computer first thing in the morning. And I think we're all increasingly asking, why can't we just do it all in one application? And I think that's what's great about what Zillable is doing here. So I wish them all the best for the future. So over to you. Tell me your experiences with app fatigue, information silos, and how you manage all these applications now. By sending me a quick email to techblogwriter@outlook.com, tweet me at Neil C. Hughes, leave me a virtual voicemail by popping by techblogwriter.co.uk/podcasts. I'd love to hear from you. As always, I know how many digital distractions there are out there, so you tuning in to this show and making what I do possible means the world to me. So a big thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in each day, and I will return tomorrow. But until next time, my friends, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.